and open it up for questions.
Lane? Thought maybe you'd have Ed Orgeron on your staff when you first came to LSU, but obviously you went in a different direction. When is the right timing, the right opportunity to bring him back on your staff?
It's a unique situation because having known him from before and working with him, and then he was already living there. He'd moved back up there, and so it's something we had talked about a little bit throughout it, and it just seemed like the perfect time to bring him back. And we talked for a number of days about it and to figure out exactly what it was, and I feel awesome about it because I feel the comfort of having him on the staff. 17 years ago we was here as the Tennessee coach, and knowing that when he's on your staff, certain things are taken care of. He's not in that same role he used to be, but to bring him back to LSU and with the expanded number of people to recruit, that can go on the road, that's a tremendous value anywhere, let alone in the state of Louisiana. So I'm excited about it.
How much does it help to have someone that you trust who has held that job before and understands the politics and all the other non-football parts of it too?
Yeah, I think that's really unique to it. Having him on our staff, 2 different places, to have him, having sat in that seat at the same place is tremendous value. Just to bounce things off of somebody that's been there through the ups and downs of it.
Like you said, you kind of do the same thing with Brandon and T. Martin. Somebody to bounce things off of the offensive side.
It's great to have T there, in a different way, because offensively and with players and the ability, and players to come on campus to recruit them too. And I think in both those guys, they get to sell to kids, having been around me before and how we run our program. So, now you have T, who's been with us before, actually at USC the same time as Ed. And then, like we said with Ed, to be specific to LSU, think about the value of someone that can go into a home, can meet with the recruit when they come there, and can sell LSU and sell the head coach.
Lane, can you maybe describe the conversation today with Rich Clark, the CFP, and just the selection committee and the selection process?
I thought it was informative. I thought he's kind of been a no-win in that situation with all the SEC coaches and a couple in there that thought they should have been in this year. So it probably wasn't going to be a great meeting for him, but he did a really good job with it. And that they have a really hard job. And I've been critical of them before, and a lot of people have, but that's a hard situation for them to be in. And not that I have an answer. I just always said I think it's more. I think the human element in there is an issue. That's 13 people and 6 athletic directors, and how that gets the best teams, is really challenging. The way that I look at it, that they can do that, and then at the same time kind of please so many different people and conferences.
I think September 19th is going to be a challenging situation, I guess you would say, on the road. How do you anticipate handling that?
I'm not even there yet. We've got so much to work to do before that. We got a huge opener with Clemson. So, I've been back to Tennessee before, so I guess we got some practice at it. But we'll worry about it when it comes.
Lane, there was a lot of connections to Florida when they were pursuing family, proximity when growing up a little bit. What ultimately kind of did you like better about it? Why did you not choose to go to Florida?
Well, that's a hard question. A lot goes into decisions. They got a great program, and it really was not about that. It really was about LSU and the belief I had in what we could do at LSU and just how it fit and the timing of everything. And so it really wasn't about any other program. It was just specifically about LSU.
How challenging was the decision? Your family visited. Layla's father, obviously, relation to the Spurrier, all those things.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot that went into it, and a lot of conversations, and amazing program with great tradition and history. So we just weighed everything out and made a decision. And you're not going to please everybody in decisions, and that's impossible as it obviously has played out. But at the end of the day, I went through all kinds of different things of, a number of different options, and made this decision for the next chapter. And, I said it the other day to somebody, two things can be right at the same time. They both can be true. You can have had a wonderful experience, and everything you said about those 6 years were, you needed Oxford and Ole Miss more than they needed you. And that can totally be true. And then you can choose a new challenge and go to another place. And so both those things are true.
To follow up on Pat's question, how would you describe your relationship with Ole Miss right now as we continue to talk about September 19th until September 19th?
You were waiting on it. You were going to ask me that on the way in, then you were like, it'd be a lot better to ask it up here. I'm going to stay on the statement that I just said. Both things can be true, and talk about LSU and how awesome these 6 months have been there. And so, sorry. I know you wanted that line right there. I had a really good one too.
6 months in, you obviously made a difficult decision. And you did it to win national championships. How convicted are you that you made the right decision? Is everything what you hoped and thought it would be?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been a great 6 months, and signed a lot of really good players, and have guys committed, and put together an awesome staff. I never said it was about, the decision was just about winning national championships. There's a lot of things that went into it. And again, you can't please everybody, and you make decisions and you take a different job. And sometimes sometimes timing's just right for a new challenge. And this is a really big challenge. And so it's been a great start.
Where's Sam in his recovery?
Yeah, he's doing really well. I think he ran 21 the other day. So he's progressing really well.
You talked about the decision.
Yes, sir.
You talked about the decision. Going back to Tennessee, you talked about practice has been there before. With Ole Miss, a little bit different maybe because of years. But how do you look back? Maybe you going back to Knoxville and try to correlate that with maybe going back to Oxford.
I mean, I don't know. I've not put as much thought as maybe you guys have thought. There's so much to do. There was so much to do when we got hired with staff and portal and everything, and there's still all kinds of things to get back for and to do. So, we'll worry about that when it comes. There's a lot of stuff before that, and there's a couple games before that.
Hey, last week the NAACP told athletes to boycott several schools in the South, including LSU, over voting rights and issues relating to race. Given your comments about Ole Miss, do you anticipate that being a problem for you? Have you talked to players about it? Have you had any conversations about that?
Yeah, we're not. I don't have a comment on that, and I think Burge has something later on it. Thank you.
Where do you stand? I mean, the SEC title game's been a big deal. Kirby talked about it. His team's played in 5 straight years, I think. So he obviously loves it. But he's not confident that that revenue stream can be made up even if you guys do go to 24. I mean, that it's going to be as consistently there, and if it's a revenue decision, then he's kind of like wonders. What do you think about the game and also just that aspect of it?
Yeah, I don't have a lot on it. There's certain subjects that come up that I really feel strong on. I think that one's hard to figure out, because, he can say he loves the game, but did he love it when he lost his, quarterback in the game? So, for the playoffs. So there's things in that there's good and bad to it. And, I think the variable of what is the playoff and how many are in it and what is that seeding like and how many automatic before, I think you need to know that, in my opinion, before you make the decision on the championship game.
We got time for 2 more.
LSU stepped up and community at the elite level on this roster from jump, maybe to the high school SEC. Did that add any more pressure in your one, just knowing how much is going to be to win that away?
I mean, I put a lot of pressure on myself wherever we're at, and in high expectations, and so I don't feel anything different with that myself. I'd have those anyway.
Last one. Like when you look at governance in college football right now, and you see the NIL numbers that might be out there, you see, when you hear your boss and along with others talking about how are we going to reel this in per se, and do we rely on Congress, NCAA, or the SEC to do it?
Yeah. Again, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have the answer on that. I mean, there's so many parts to it, and we just try to maximize whatever the situation they put us in and the rules. I think we've done a good job of evolving over time and never just saying this is how it needs to be and we're not going to evolve. And so I'm more now being up here, so many times and being in these meetings, I'm more just kind of like, here's the few things I feel really strong on, and the other ones just tell us what they are and we'll go make the best of it.
What do you feel strong on?
There's only 2 more questions. See you guys.